Okay, we are going to look at how to build a whitelist of wallet addresses using automation and Google Sheets. And you can see here we are looking at a Google Sheet. I have some data, including the wallet address. This is me, the user. This is my email address. And there's also a flag here that says that I'm guaranteed. And all of this is data that I was able to collect and then have it automatically write to the sheet. And not only do I want to get the wallet address, but I also want to get some additional information about the user. I want to know who my high value supporters are, my original supporters, and then I can reach out and engage them directly. I'm not just collecting the wallet address, I have some identity tied to that wallet address. And and then once I have the wallet addresses in here, I can easily just do file, download, and I can download all of this in comma separated values, and I'll have all of the wallet addresses. I can just paste that into a smart contract, and you might want to, before you export, you might want to just you can remove some rows. Remove some columns, so you just have the wallet addresses in that comma separated format. But I'm going to keep this Google Sheet as a database of user information. And let's talk about how I'm actually going to collect this information. I'm going to use a couple of tools. Now, some people will do wallet collection through Twitter using marketing tactics and giveaways. Some use Reddit. Maybe you'll use Discord. I'm going to use Instagram because for me, I have a few things at my disposal. One is I have some automation tools that connect directly to Instagram Direct. So that's the one-on-one messaging tool through an Instagram account. And I can ask the user questions, or I can prompt them to enter some information, and then I'll have that data automatically written to the Google Sheet. So I have some tools to be able to do that, and we're going to walk you through that. And the other reason is because I just want to build community around content, and I think Instagram is a viable channel for that. You can see here I can funnel them into discovering all the different ways they can interact with a brand that I'm building called DJ Rivals. And if we scroll a little bit further down, you can see that there is a whitelist, and there is the top level to discover those links, and then we can share the roadmap with them. And if you can scroll down even further, you can see here's the roadmap, and they can discover this all through Instagram messaging, right? And so now let's see what happens when I just type a message that the account doesn't understand. We can say there are 3 ways I can help you. So I might, if they have a question and I want to respond to a question, I can do that. But using automation and being able to respond immediately to the user, I just want to give them 3 options where we can help them immediately. That's the whitelist, the links, and the roadmap. So let's select whitelist, and you'll see here that we already have a whitelist stored. And so I've set a rule that we're only allowing 1 wallet address on the list, so I can keep it or I can replace it, assuming I've already added it. So let's replace it, and I'll just put in I'm going to put in the same address just to show you how this is going to delete from the Google Sheet. You can see it's gone, right? And then I get the message, there are 100 guaranteed spots available on the whitelist. So type or paste in a valid wallet address. So let's do that. I'm going to paste this address, and you'll see what happens here in the Google Sheet. It all updates in real time. So it says this looks like a valid ETH address. So we were able to check to see if it is an actual address. And we can just add the address. So I'll click Add Address. And then you can see it gets written to the Google Sheet. And then I can, help them discover other areas where they can interact with the brand. So maybe you want them to follow you on Instagram. Like I said, you can send them to Twitter or Discord or maybe some YouTube videos. So let's look at how this all works. How did I make that all work? Well, the first thing we're using here is something called ManyChat. ManyChat is an automation tool for Instagram Direct. And you can see here that I have a number of conversational flows. So they're just little scenarios that allow me to collect information. So here you can see refocus users. Every time the user sends a message and the account can't understand it, we can present that gallery where with the whitelist, the links, and the roadmap. And here you can see that if we want to send them to the wallet menu, which is another flow that we built out here, you can see here that we're able to capture some information. Now we have some conditions that we set up, which is really nice. Do we have a wallet address stored? And that data all gets stored inside of ManyChat, so it acts kind of like a CRM. And then we can also create some other logic, like available spots. So if I've only guaranteeing 100 spots and it's down to 0, so less than 1, we can give them a different type of automated response. We can say, let's say there's 100 guaranteed spots. They've been filled, but if you have an ETH wallet address, we'll raffle off a few extra spots before the public sale. So you can see there's all this logic that we were able to set up. And not to worry, I'm going to generate a template out of all this. And if you join my Discord, I'll make it available in the developers channel in my Discord. So you'll be able to just grab this template. It'll already be set up, and you can just change the text, but you don't have to worry about any of the logic. So the flow is all set up here. We have some conditions, and I think that the other thing you'll want to see here is that we have some settings where we're able to store some data. So we have user fields and bot fields. So for example, let's say I want to collect their wallet address. That's going to get stored in a field called wallet address for the user. It's just text, and there's a little description there. So we have fields where we can store user-specific data, and then we have bot fields. If I click that tab, these are all global variables that are going to affect all users. So you saw here that we have the currency, and we're going to use ETH as a value. And maybe you want to check a different currency, so you can put a different value in here, and that becomes a variable that you can use when you want to validate a wallet address as being a real address. Here we have other things like available spots. So currently we have 99 available spots because we just filled a spot when I entered my ETH address into Instagram. And so we have guaranteed spots as well. So if I'm guaranteeing 100 spots and one of them gets filled, that leaves 99 spots. And you can see that in these flows here that all of that is taken care of here in the logic. So let's say they've already put in their address, and if they want to replace it with a different wallet address, well, we can remove a row from the Google Sheet, and then we can increase the number of available spots by 1, decrease the number of spots filled by 1, and then we can clear out some additional data because they want to clear out, they want to replace the wallet address, so we can actually clear out the data. And this is all done with automation. So it's just by chatting with an Instagram account, all of these things can happen. You can create different messages, you can collect and store data, and you can clear data out as needed, depending on what the user wants to do inside of that conversational experience. Now there's one other tool we're going to use here, and you'll see here that it's called, you have a key. So that is a key, it's like an API key, and it's called Bot Sheets. And Bot Sheets does a few things. So let's look at what it does here. You've got, it allows you to manage chatbot content with Google Sheets. And it has, you connect a Google Sheet, and then you can write and read from the Google Sheet. And then you can see here the Bot Sheets is an add-on for ManyChat. So you can use the ManyChat bot to set up your logic and store your data, and then you'll use Bot Sheets to do all the fancy Google Sheet magic. So if we look at here, you can see that if the number of available spots is greater than or equal to 1, then and because the user input their address, we can write to the list, give them a message, and you can see here that one of the things that ManyChat does is it provides this data automatically. It gets it directly from Instagram. So that's how we're able to automatically get user data like this without even asking the user. Just by interacting with us on Instagram, ManyChat is able to pass the data to us, and we're able to store it in association with the wallet address that we're collecting. Here, we've set this field called guaranteed. So that's that field here. They're guaranteed to be on the list. And then we're going to just insert a row. And then we just present the message. We've added, this is the wallet address. We've increased the number of whitelist spots filled by 1. And then we can just do a simple calculation. We set the number of available spots to the number of guaranteed spots minus the number of spots filled. Very simple math. And you're just using these variables here, like available spots, guaranteed spots, and spots filled, to present a number to the user and to be able to create this conditional logic here. So here, if our available spots are not greater than or equal to 1, it's basically 0. It means that all the guaranteed the available spots are filled, but we can still say, okay, we're going to add your wallet address, and then we can say, want to increase your chances, follow us on Twitter and send us this tweet. And so we can collect some as many wallet addresses as we want, but we want to motivate users to be in that that guaranteed list. They want to be included. We're not going to guarantee it here because we've set a guaranteed amount of 100. But we want to provide them with a call to action so that they get our attention, that they actually really want to get on the whitelist, and then they're able to help drive discovery of all of this through a channel that we want them. In this case, it's Twitter. Let's look at one other flow. Actually, let's look at this flow here. This is one that Bot Sheets provides. It's kind of an add-on to ManyChat, which is the user's going to input their wallet address. So type or paste in a valid wallet address on the ETH blockchain, and then it's waiting for a reply. User's going to paste something in, and we can even do something like this, where I'll take this. If the contact hasn't put in a wallet address, then I can actually say did you want to add your address to our whitelist? And please add it below. So let's say if the contact has not responded, we can do this, and then we can connect all these boxes together. So we're creating some a conversational design, and Yeah, and you can see here, if the contact has not responded, then send them that message. So let's say I want to change that to 2 hours. No, let's make it 1 hour. So if they haven't done it in an hour, we're going to message. It's going to send them a message through Instagram Direct, saying, did you want to continue because you didn't add your address yet. So it re-engages them. Then and then I just click publish here, and you'll see that it's now part of the conversational experience. Now, once they put in their address, one of the things we want to do is want to check if it's actually a valid address, right? If they just put a bunch of bogus information in, we don't want to write that to the Google Sheet, because that's going to be a lot of cleanup work later on. If we're going through the sheet and you have all types of nonsense data that isn't data that we can use, or it's going to make a lot of extra work for us later on. We don't want that. We just want all of the addresses we want to know they're valid, and we want them in a format that we can literally just copy and paste. That is the goal here. It's using automation to collect, store, and export data so that you can get your whitelist implemented very easily. So we have this thing here called, once they input their wallet address, it's going to automatically store the wallet address, and then we're going to, if we checked before if it was valid, then we're going to want to clear that. So maybe they're putting in another address, or they're trying to put in more than one, or they're trying to replace one with a different wallet address. But this is the thing that is most important. We are going to make an external request here, and we can use the bot sheets API, and you can see here that this is what we're just going to post this request, and here's what was being sent in that request. We have the user's wallet address, we have the currency, and we have their bot sheets key. And you can see these are blue because these are fields, right? So all you would need to do is go into your settings here, right? And you can see there's the bot sheets key, and there is the currency, and so and the wallet addresses, we're going to collect that from the user when they input it. And so it's just going to reference whatever value we have stored in those user fields, like the wallet address and the bot fields, those sort of global variables. We're going to take the values stored in those fields to then validate if it is a wallet address that we can use and store. And if it isn't, we can give them one message. And so you can see here, is the wallet valid? And if it is valid, we can say, this looks like a valid ETH address, and personalize it with their name, display the value that they input and was stored, and then there's there are 3 buttons here where they can, there's a call to action to add the address. You can see the line sort of goes here, connects to here, and then we can check to see, do we have an email address for the user? And if we do have an email address, then we can just write it to the list. If we don't have an email address, then we can get the email address from the user, and we can store that as well. So you can see here, one last step, enter your email below so we can let you know if you've been picked for the whitelist. That's if there's less than, if there's 0 available spots. Here, if it's greater than, it's 1 or greater, there are some available spots on the list. Then we just say, one last step, enter your email below so we can let you know when the pre-sale starts. So we're able to personalize the message for the user depending on the data, and using a simple conditional logic that looks at a number. And then we can just, so we can personalize the experience for the user. And again, users are going to try and send messages. So if we go back to our flows here, we have a flow called refocus users. And this is our default response, okay? So you can see here, anytime the user sends a message, well, I have other flows that are connected here. So like after they put in, after they get added to the whitelist, I want to send them back here so they can, rediscover our kind of our main menu of options of things they can do. But if they are, this is our default, and it's set to load every time the user sends a message. That way, they're not going to be frustrated. They're going to be asking things, and we don't have any automation set up for that. So we can just send them back to this. Now they can enter keywords as well, and maybe they use the keyword whitelist, and so we'll send them into those whitelist flows, or maybe they ask a question about the Discord, and we can send them to this, collection of links, right? So we can use keywords to trigger these conversational flows, but just to set your expectations, sometimes doing less is more. And basically what I mean is, instead of trying to do too much, trying to use automation to respond to everything the user says, just respond in a way that gets them to do what you need them to do, which is collect a wallet address, funnel them into other digital properties like Twitter or Discord so that you can, engage the user there, and then maybe just provide them with some useful information about the roadmap and your timing. So I hope this helps. You're going to want bot sheets, and I've included a link in the description. You're going to want ManyChat. I've included that in the description. Bot sheets, and then I've also included a link to my Discord for this project, DJ Rivals, and you'll see in the developer channel that I've included a PDF that has a link to install this whole template that I set up, and some general information on how it works and how you can configure this for your business, and use Instagram Direct as a channel to start your pre-sale activities for your NFT collection. Thanks for watching.